The other thing I want to say about the kingdom is that it's a present reality. Sometimes people, when you ask them what the kingdom is, they say, well, I think one day the kingdom's going to happen when Jesus comes back and he's going to set up his throne, or whatever thinking you might have about that particular time, and we think of it in the future. But when Jesus began his ministry, he said the kingdom of God is at hand. Later on, he talked about other things that were to happen in the kingdom. So we need to hold two things in tension about the kingdom. And that is this, that the kingdom is both now and not yet. Okay? The kingdom has two aspects to it. There is a future part to the kingdom. I'm not denying that at all. But the kingdom is also a very present reality. And I think the problem in most of the church is we put the kingdom off to the future, and all we focus now is kind of in a narrow focus, maybe on building the church or discipleship, and we've kind of said all the other things, we're just going to leave those off in some other area. So we need to realise there is a tension here, and both of those need to be recognised. If we focus so completely on the now part, we can end up just being involved in social action and those sort of things. But if we just focus on the future, then all we do is we look at the present, the future hope that we have, and we ignore the present. Let me give you an illustration. It's a bit extreme, but it's probably one that makes sense to me. I know some people are working with girls that have come out of prostitution in Thailand. And these poor girls often end up in there because the family is poor. Poverty is the only thing they know, and the only way to get out of the poverty is they sell their daughters off into prostitution and get some money that way. Now, some of the folk that I know, and maybe you know them as well, they are working on how to help those girls. Now, if you were taking what I was saying in the illustration back at the beginning to the extreme, you said, well, the real answer for the kingdom for them is they need to be saved, need to be born again, they need to give their lives to Jesus and become a Christian. But we can't do anything beyond that. We can't take them out of prostitution. We can't do anything apart from just give them a hope for the future. One day, Jesus will wipe away all their pain and their tears. Now, if we treated people like that, that's not the kingdom of God. That's not the heart of God. So to only go halfway and say, well, we'll get you saved and you can now become a Christian prostitute is not the message of the gospel. The message of the gospel is, sure, you can become a Christian and find hope and have a relationship with God. But man, we want to change your world. We want to get you out of that terrible way in which you're living. And how can we be practical in doing that? So what a lot of them have done is they set up freedom businesses where they're now training the girls can work, the girls have a choice where they don't have to be in prostitution, and suddenly their whole world changes. Now that's the gospel of the kingdom. That's the kingdom of God at work, not just offering a future hope one day, but a present reality as well. So we need to have both those things in our thinking, otherwise we're only getting part of the message.